Hello, I'm Nelson Ford from the Gunsmith, and I've got some fun ones here. Uh, Samuel Remington got into the big rifle market in the 1860s, and he had this falling block. It's an amazing gun, but it's a single shot. But there's a lot of single shots at the time. Springfield, Sharps, lots of things going on. Heavy mark to get into. But anyway, he made these Remington falling blocks, and right away he sold, I think, a couple 100,000 to the Swedes and the people of Norway. And before you knew it, they were in 50 different countries. And he had guts getting into that market because there was a lot of competition, and he made a lot of money selling these guns. But people don't know about these guns, and I should probably uh, finish by saying this is a 43 Spanish, and the Spaniards bought these from, gosh, I knew they had them till 93, 1893, and I think they bought them almost 30 years either earlier in the 1860s. But this has an 1874 patent date, so you know it's in those 19 years between 1874 and 1893. And I'm just figuring because it's in the Spanish cartridge. I have all the records were lost on these Remingtons, the falling blocks from the 1800s. All the information was lost in the 1940s, and no one knows why. No one knows where the information went. But they're cool guns, and they were sold to 50 different countries in almost as many calibers. If you don't know about the Remington falling block, you should, or rolling block. That it was a great gun. It's two big pins. One supported the hammer, and one supported uh, the cartridge stop. Anyway, great gun. What I really think is cool that's here is I bought this from a friend of mine. It belonged to his father, and there were two different pistols made of the Remington falling block. Same action, same gun. And the Navy bought 6,500. You can tell the Navy they have this round back. They bought 6,500 in 50 rimfire, and they were rounded, and that's how you could tell. They did not have these sights. Somebody changed this barrel in 1960 because they dated it when they did it. They put this barrel on and these sights and converted it to 4570, so it was usable in 50 rimfire. I think they're $4 around, and you don't know if they're going to fire anyway. And so the whole idea of firing the original load would not make a good plan, good idea. The 50 rimfire had a 290 grain bullet, and I think it went out at around 1,000 feet per second, which made it a handful. And so when the Army ordered these, they put like what they called the knuckle on them, and that was to stop your hand, to keep the gun from rolling back in your hand. And the Army made them as well, but Army wanted them in center fire, so the cartridges were reloadable. But I think they were for Dan to begin with. But at any rate, I brought this out to a shoot. The first time I brought it out to a shoot, it was a steel match, but there was a place on the side of the match where people could go and shoot whatever they wanted. And we went over there, and I had this gun with me with some of my reloads that were soft, 20 grains of 2400 or something, and it was reasonably light load in this gun. And I can't remember the bullet weight. It was probably 300 or 400, and I really didn't want to shoot it. And so I showed it to a few people. They all looked at it. I talked about shooting it, and so nobody really wanted to take a chance with the gun. And the most affluent person there, I would have thought that somebody else would have taken the chore, said, "I'll shoot it." And I have to do this. I have to do this to show you. The guy was a 6 footer plus, and we loaded the gun, cocked the hammer back, pull back the roller, and you drop around in there, and then you fire it, boom. And when it comes down, the hammer goes into a recess in the roller, and it locks it from opening. when the hammer comes down, it locks it. So at any rate, he loads the gun and he cocks the hammer back, and he gets below this card table I had set up, and he goes to shoot it with his head out of sight. I mean, you had to be there. It was just a laugher because first of all, I had never seen anyone do this before. He didn't want to die, but he wanted to shoot it, and then he wanted to continue shooting it. But she is an interesting gun, and this is a Navy 1867. The Army ones were made, I think, from 71 on in centerfire 50. The ammunition is painfully expensive, um, but it's a wonderful model, sort of a, a stretch from the standard rolling block to the pistol. And so I sent out a picture of this to him, and his wife does graphics, and she put a pirate hat on it, and he calls it the pirate gun. Anyway, it just needed to get into a video. It didn't change the world, but it sure has its own look to it, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to share it with you. And so keep the questions and comments coming. I learn a lot from them, and I have a lot of fun with them. Thanks for watching.